Okay, today we're working on the Weiss Mustang, the very dirty Mustang. Alright, so let's jump inside the car here. So my wife was driving home from work the other day, and she went through a little drive-through, and she came down to an idle speed, just idling, and the car turned off on her, completely turned off, and the steering wheel locked up. And right before it did that, it was kind of stuttering and idling pretty weak. So she's able to get it home and for me to take a look at. So let me show you what the issue is. We'll go ahead and start it up, and I'm going to hook up my scanner and show you the codes that it's throwing. I just got my cheap scan tool here. If you've never hooked one up to a 2013 Mustang, it is located right down here below your dashboard, right below the steering wheel there. Let this thing start up. Go ahead and once it's ready, hit enter. Alright, so 3 codes found. Hit enter again and enter again to read the codes. Alright, so we've got this P0442, which is a evap code, and we've been dealing with this for a while now, and that basically is telling us that somewhere in the fuel filler neck there's a slight little leak, and it's causing a little bit of issues after she fills up her gas tank and goes to pull away, and the first, I don't know, maybe 15 to 30 seconds of driving, it's got a little bit of a weird idle, a little bit of a weird stutter to it. But then that quickly goes away. So we took it to the shop, and they said you're just going to have to live with it or take it to the Ford dealer. And we know what the Ford dealers do. They really rape you on prices. So he said it's not dangerous. We'll deal with it. Okay, so that's not the issue we're talking about today, though. Okay, so the next code that we're focused on today is the P2196. And that basically has to do with your O2 sensor. And we also have a P2198. So that's basically telling me that bank 2 and bank 1 O2 sensors are not working basically together at the same time. Now that's pretty rare that you're going to have that happen at the same time. So if you go ahead and pull this code up on the web, you'll see that it has to do with the purge valve. So the purge valve is not functioning correctly. Now let's go under the hood and I'll show you what the purge valve is. Okay, so under the hood, right basically where the throttle body is, you're going to have this part right here, and this is a canister purge valve. And when this thing isn't operating right, it's not drawing vapors out of the fuel tank and allowing them to pass through into the motor to be burned up. So therefore you're going to have a weird idle, a poor idle, possibly stalling and more. Now if you aren't 100% sure and you do want to test this part before you go ahead and replace it, you'll go ahead and just pull this hose off. And if you feel air getting sucked into this, you can just hold your finger over the end of the opening here. And if you feel air getting sucked into that a little bit, then you know this thing is not good. So today we're going to be swapping this out. This is a real quick process. It's maybe 5 minutes at most. Okay, so you've got this wire connector. Push that down, pull out, and you get a little flathead screwdriver. And this hose you'll have to remove too. And it basically has a clip right here. And you want to pry that up, preferably with 2 hands. I'm going to have to set the phone down. Alright, so there's that clip. You want to pull that out. You have to remove it the whole way out. When that's done, you'll be able to pull this hose off. Okay, then all you're left with is 2 8mm bolts. You want to remove those. Okay, so we got the new one here. We're just going to go ahead and take it, push it down in there really well. You'll feel it kind of click. Take your bolts, get those back in, take your 8mm socket and snug them down. You don't want to like go crazy on torquing them down, just snug them up good. Okay, you want to go ahead and pull this rubber cover off the tip of that, and we'll go ahead and slide that all the way back on. We'll install our clip through the top, push down through there, and we'll reconnect the wire connector. Okay, so I got my clip pushed back in, and it actually broke. It broke in half, so you're gonna have to be kind of gentle with it. So I did put it back in. It was cracked right in the very center. I just went ahead and put a zip tie on it just to really hold it in place well. Alright, so we'll just take our connector, push it on until you hear it click, and that's basically the whole installation. That took maybe 4 minutes. Now, this guy goes in the trash. And just to go ahead and improve throttle response, I'm going to go ahead and take the mass airflow sensor out and give it a quick spray and clean while I've got everything going here and the hood's open. So I'm going to pull this out, spray the end of it, get it nice and clean, and replace it. So here's your standard mass airflow sensor. Air passes in through there, so you just want to kind of spray this area clean. You don't really want to touch it with your finger or anything, so just get some mass airflow sensor cleaner and just give this a spray down this whole area where this opening is. And you can see there's some dirt there, so this probably is really in need for a cleaning. So we'll just go ahead and spray this. And this stuff evaporates pretty quickly. Let's get that sprayed down there, let it dry, and then pop it back in. Just put back in, again, the air is going to flow in this hole here. So you want to make sure that that opening is facing your air filter where your intake is. Place your screws and reattach the clip. This is a small star bit. It's a T20. That's it. Alright, so we'll start the car back up and everything should be resolved. Fingers crossed, of course. Okay, so it's still showing up, so we're gonna exit out of here. We're gonna go down, erase the codes. Okay, come back to the main screen here. The codes are gone. We're gonna go ahead and just take this for a little bit of a test drive around the neighborhood, make sure it's running good, and then we'll come back, plug this back in. If the check engine light comes back on, we'll come back in, plug this in, and see if anything pops back up. But this should resolve the rough idle, the weird throttle control, and all the other issues that she was dealing with, like stalling while she was driving. Luckily, she was only going a few miles an hour. So that's pretty much it. All right, we'll take this for a little drive around the neighborhood, make sure everything feels normal. Now, we bought this car from Carvana, so we didn't get to see this car before we bought it. Now, when we did get this car, I did do a video of it, so if you'd like to check that out, you can go back through my older videos and you can see the whole process of Carvana delivering this car, taking it for a test drive, and everything else. and it's really been a great car. This thing is in really great condition. The amount of small little scratches was slightly more than what they had advertised on Carvana, but these scratches are just little tiny chips and nothing really major. You can't really notice it unless you're looking for it. So this is so far running pretty nice. This car has 74,000 miles on it. I think it had 47 when we got it, which was pretty low mileage for a 2013. So it must have been well taken care of and garage kept because it's in really great condition. The interior is really nice, no blemishes to the seats whatsoever. Door panels are great, everything's great. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully that helped you out. It's just a quick little video. I had to replace this part, so I figured I might as well film the simple process of it in case you're having a similar issue with your Mustang. I don't think this is specific to this year. Definitely this whole generation, which I believe was 2011 to 2015 Mustang. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and give it a subscribe if this was helpful. I'd really appreciate it. If not a subscribe, at least drop a thumbs up. Gotta juice that algorithm, get these videos out a little bit more on YouTube. And that's it. I'm gonna drive this back home, park it, and call it a day. And go in and have some soup. Talk to you later. See you on the next one. Okay, don't forget to subscribe by clicking on the right there, and make sure you check out my other video on the left.